Hello? No worries.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Good.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How's everyone doing? Very good, thank you. Wonderful. Abu, camera on. Oh, my phone. Muzni, looks like you just woke up in someone's garage. You've been cuffed to a bed frame or some shit like that. I hope it's not the case.
Maybe.
Do you still have both kidneys?
Yeah.
Okay, then I think you should be fine. So, does anyone has any sales calls, or do you guys want to do some freestyle, like a role play today?
I have a sales call today, like in 2 hours, with a real estate agent, but she is commercial, and is there any I just like I was wondering if it's commercial, selling commercial places, it would be like no difference from home, but if it's
Not
renting,
necessarily.
but if it's
Not
renting, like,
necessarily. The only difference will be that I will assume it will be renting, not really selling, unless she works with, for example, developers and stuff like that. But then it will be important for you to also understand the size of it, due to the
Okay.
fact that then that can influence the price per rent, and then it's simply just not really closing, but you just want to understand how many, for example, is she renting out? What's her take home on every single rent that she's getting closed?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If it's renting it, it's not. I would just say, okay, you're not like a fit for us.
Not necessarily. Like, you need to understand, especially when it comes to commercial renting, dependent on what properties she's working with, there is money to be made.
Okay.
Like, if you have, for example, granted, it also depends, obviously, like where she's located in, but you need to understand there is a difference in between a coffee shop that you are renting out, and there is a difference in between, for example, an office for, I don't know, let's say in a skyscraper. So by the end of the day, you don't necessarily need to say, like, granted, of course, you can say that she's not the right fit, but then still do the discovery so you can actually discover if she's not the right fit instead of just assuming.
In terms of questions that I would ask is like how many, but I think it goes more directly as like how of the amount of money she does renting properties, or they are
You're retarded. I have literally, what have I said 5 minutes ago? No, not even 5 minutes ago. What have I said 2 minutes ago? There is literally no difference in between residential and commercial. The only thing you want to know is she selling those or is she renting out? If she's renting out, you still want to understand how many leads is she dealing with, how many offices does she, for example, have for renting, how many of those is she closing, and what the take home of every single rental is, and also what the average pricing of the rental is. Because again, there is a huge difference in between you having an office with a beautiful, I don't know, fucking Manhattan view, and a shithole where, for example, you have a bed frame that, you know, you can cuff someone want to.
Okay, got it.
Again, the Muzni, I don't know where you are. I'm just joking, just teasing. Like, fundamentally speaking, you are doing a very similar discovery. You're just adjusting the way you speak to what is it that she's doing. Because by the end of the day, your service can benefit her as well, as long as she's making enough money with the renting. Because again, there are also realtor agents who, for example, work with developers and rent like new developments out. Then there is also money to be made there. The question is then if she's working with a brokerage that then got, for example, the whole building that they need to rent out, or if she's working directly with developers. Because one means less friction for the people that want to rent something out. The other one means more friction. And then with the other one, she will get more money coming out of it. With the other one, she will get less. Just as simple as that. Especially because even if you rent an office, in most cases, you are just basically forced to sign a document for, I think the lowest I've ever seen was 6 months. On average, it's like 12 months.
Yeah, sometimes
very
it-
rarely it
That's
happens for companies to it very rarely happens in companies that they are able to, for example, rent on every month. Like there is a minimum term of their contract.
Yeah, but no, well, normal. What I looked for normally is like 5, 10 years, even if it's like huge commercial spaces. Like for lawyers' offices, it's minimum 5 years.
I've not heard of 5 years, but then again, like if the company is huge enough, that doesn't really matter. Especially if, for example, it's a law firm, then there is a huge chance, yes, because then they can also force themselves to be in a contract for 5 years that will allow them to minimize the monthly rent, because then the person that owns the office is happy because the person gets money coming in 4 or 5 years, and the law firm doesn't need to, have a headache of, okay, is this going to be increased? Is that? No, it just stays stable.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you.
That will be the only difference. But like, don't assume that she's going to be bad, because you also don't know how much she's making.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, but that didn't really answer my question. Does anyone has any sales skills we can review, or would you guys prefer to do the role play? Because I think we have enough people here to do a proper role play.
Do you think we could go through a role play for the pitch? Not the intro process, but just the pitch, like the presentation side.
Sure. Fun enough, we can do the pitch side, combining also with the ROI breakdown.
Okay.
So basically
think-
the last 3 slides.
Do you think you can run it through us one time, just so we have like a template? Because I haven't seen anyone run it
Sure.
through. Like
Just
I'll be a client or something.
can someone send me a link to presentation?
Try to find out.
Because you guys should have it bookmarked. Still waiting. There are 4 people. No one of you has bookmarked the presentation.
Oh, we've got
Answer, that will be a good opportunity for you to get the presentation reviewed.
Send it to you.
Okay.
I haven't
Mostly just
finished
send
it
it.
yet, Serena.
Realty jolt. God damn. By the way, Muzni, please change the colors of the presentation so they actually fit with the logo.
Yeah, just made that really quick.
Oh, Muzni, you fucking lazy cunt. Everything is empty here.
What do you mean? What's empty?
Presentation slide number 4. 7 is literally how you have fucking received it. 9 is literally how you have fucking received it. 11 is how you fucking received it. You lazy pillock.
No one told me I need to change anything, so I left it as is.
Cool. Change it. Use your own brain and please change the colors so they fit to your logo, because currently your logo is just like, by the way, your logo is extremely unsharp.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
don't know
not
if you've
my
noticed
that's
that.
not my updated logo. You sent it to me like 5 minutes before sales call, so I just put in a random logo and then went with it.
Okay. Your homework for today is to do that.
Okay.
So, oh fuck. Where is the public viewing? I assume you guys can see this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need some. Granted, no, we can. Muzni, that's real estate, correct?
Yeah.
Give me some information. How many leads are you dealing on monthly?
In terms, I'm getting referrals, so it's inconsistent. I could see 5 1 month and then 2 in some other months.
So your referral is fucking terrible. Okay. What's the closing rate?
I don't really track that because it depends on where it comes from. It typically I can close 16 deals a year, but it fluctuates from month to month.
Use this information. Okay. No, fuck. So by 2 people, by 2 it's 50%. By 5 it's 20%. Okay, average listing price.
Ranges between 5 to 9 million in my area.
With numbers, you always go from the lowest, so 5 mil.
Yeah.
Average take home percentage.
2%.
So 100 is okay. So then so monthly fluctuates basically from in the war. Oh no, fuck. No, you said 5 to 8, correct? No, leads. So 5 to 8. Your closing rate is 20 to 50%. So do you know why I say 20 to 50? Because last year it was 16 deals. 16 divided by 12 is 1.3.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So monthly is no, it's still 100,000. Okay. Okay, just in case someone was wondering or didn't understood what I just collected, these are basically the informations you will need to have in order to do the ROI breakdown in the right manner, and also more or less calculate like how much does one individual can or will be willing to pay. Also due to the fact that if, for example, in Muzni case, he's making 100,000 per month, that's like the average. So if you're gonna come to him and be like, Mujni, I'm gonna be able to bring you more leads. I'm gonna qualify them, and then you're gonna charge them 1,000. He's just gonna look at you and don't believe it because you're just too cheap. As stupid as it sounds, you're just too cheap. So yeah, so what I just collected is normally what you guys need to have in discovery, which is how many leads is he engaging with, what is his closing rate. Closing rate can be also easily calculated because he said in the last year he has closed 16 deals. So on the basis that he is dealing with 5 to 2 leads, and if we divide 16 deals divided by 12 months, it will mean he's roughly closing 1 to 2 deals per month. So if he engages with 5 leads, his closing rate is at 20%. If he engages with 2 leads, his closing rate is with 5 leads, it's at 20%. With 2 leads, it's at 20%. Then average listing price is 5 million, and his take home is 2%. So it's 100,000. Understandable?
Yeah.
So, Muzni, after everything you have seen, do you have any questions, any concerns, anything you will want me to clarify?
No, I don't think so. It all makes sense.
Okay, cool. And do you also see how this will allow you to at least get to the max capacity of leads that you can, run through on monthly basis?
Yeah, sure. If it works, then yeah, I can see how that would work.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. Okay. So is there anything specific you will definitely need to, want to know in order for us to move forward today?
I'd probably want to do more research before moving forward today, obviously, because we've just met and need to do more research about whether I could trust you guys or not. But the model seems good, and if I think I can trust it, then I'd be happy to move forward when
Again,
the time
that's
is right.
absolutely fine. But then take into consideration, we are on the call, and technically speaking, I'm the only source of information you have. What would you want to research about? What would you want to know that may stop you, from moving forward?
Yeah, just I've had like people in the past. Obviously, I've been on a lot of these calls. About a year ago, actually, I joined with another agency, They promised like a guarantee, everything refunded money back if they couldn't produce results, but they didn't produce the results and I didn't get the guarantee back. So I'm just a bit cautious about this kind of thing, and
Mhm.
I'd have to see if you guys are credible, do some research on maybe your website, social media, etc. Just to make sure I can trust you guys in the first place before putting my money down.
Look, by the end of the day, I'm gonna be absolutely honest with you. I think at this point we see each other at the same level, so I assume I can be honest with you. Tell me if I'm gonna be too harsh. But from my point of view, if you went for someone who gives you a stupid guarantee, you're the stupid one. Do you get where I'm coming from? Because by the end of the day, if let's say you will close a deal and you will guarantee someone that, for example, they're gonna have a pool, and if there is not gonna be a pool in the house because you're only focused on closing the deal, and you're guaranteeing them to build the pool by your own, is that a stupid guarantee or is that a good guarantee? Because
Yeah,
as
so
a matter of fact, you're also a realtor, so you're, for example, dealing with lawyers, correct?
yeah.
When was the last time you needed an attorney and he has been paid after he has done something? They are always being paid up front, correct?
Yeah.
It's on the similar basis. They are not giving you a guarantee that, for example, even if you're going to go to the court, that they are going to win the case for you. They're just explaining to you what is it they're doing. Then it is up to your decision if it makes sense. And then by the end of the day, there is no way to guarantee you certain results. The only thing I'm more than happy to do is also explain to you what I meant when I said to you that when someone works with us, on the average, what I have noticed is that they get return on investment as 3x, which was also one of the pillars that I'm sure you remember from the beginning of the presentation.
Okay. How do I know that you're not just gonna take my money and then produce some subpar results that you might present as being 3x, but in reality you don't really get me results and then you walk away with what I have?
Very easily explained. Do you think I'm allergic to money?
No.
Okay. Are you
Yes or
allergic to
no?
money?
No.
Then by the end of the day, on the basis that we are going to work together, you're going to bring me more money, correct? Especially
Yeah.
on the basis that it's going to be successful.
Yeah. Bring you more money if it's successful, yeah.
Yes. And believe me or not, I prefer it to succeed and I prefer to work with you together because you also seem like a competent human being, which, as you know, in real estate, it's not that often. Because as an example, in USA, you have 3.8 billion realtors, 95% of them are just useless.
Okay.
So
Alright.
as long as you're not allergic to money, I'm definitely not. So there is no reason for me to run away.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So do you have any other questions or anything you will want to know before we move forward? Because look, I think we are both for long enough in the business to understand that time is money. So on the basis that you like what you see, on the basis that it also works fine from the investment point of view, I'll be more than happy to move forward because then realistically speaking, I can get you onboarded tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right, cool. Look, it's super easy. What the fuck is that?
Oh yeah, this is the investment thing that I used to use, but this isn't actually what I do.
What the fuck? I have not seen your presentation. Whoa, 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 whoa. Muzni, what the fuck is that?
This isn't actually what I like offer though. So basically, I talk with
Okay,
Nikita.
can I get someone else's presentation before I'm gonna kill him?
Okay. I don't actually offer that, by the way.
I
It's just
certainly hope so.
it's incentive-based pricing thing that I do.
That please no, please don't. Because that's why I wanted to show you the ROI breakdown because it just makes your life easier and it also makes easier to understand for the prospect. Like you're long enough in sales to understand that presentation, the purpose of the presentation is to show rather than tell. And with ROI breakdown, it's easier for them to understand how it works. Can someone please give me a presentation or do I actually need to do it by myself?
Hey, by the way, just a quick question. Is this being recorded? Just because I want to review this later.
Yes, every of my meetings is being recorded. I can send you the link by the end of the day if you remind me by the end of the day, because
Okay.
all of them, like, they need to be synchronized into the cloud.
Yeah, that's fine.
Muzni, and I was in the flow, and you just fucked up my flow. So this is, should I copy it for you, by the way?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Oh fuck, can I even, okay, remind me later, I'm gonna just copy paste. No, I think I can copy paste it like that. No. Motherfucker. Here, this. Yep. So look, Muzni, it's super easily explained. The build-up fee is 7.5 thousand. Then the ad spend is the industry standard, which will be 1,000 per month. Again, this doesn't even come to our pocket. This is something that goes directly to Meta, which will cost you roughly $33 per day. So, you know, a little bit more than 1 cup of coffee. And then after 3 months, we will switch to a retainer of 1.5 thousand.
Okay, could you explain that again? Because you said 7.5 thousand for build fee. What do you mean?
The build fee in this branding/lead generation, you can charge anywhere from 2.5 thousand to 7.5 thousand.
Okay.
In this case, because he's dealing with luxurious real estate, you can definitely go for 7.5 first,
Okay.
because he can afford it. Second of all, there is no way he will trust you that you're going to be able to deliver that if you're going to charge too low. And realistically speaking, with 7.5, you will be capable of doing it. So then the ad spend, I don't know what the fuck, why it's 750. The ad spend should be 1,000 because that's the industry standard. That can also be bumped up on the basis that he, for example, wants to deal with more leads. And in this case, the retainer can be also 1.5, just as a maintenance fee. Am I being retarded? Yeah. And then Muzni, look, realistically speaking, let me explain to you one thing. Do you remember, but by the beginning of the presentation, when I showed you one of the pillars that we are working on, which is that everyone that works with us gets at least a ROI of 3x?
Yeah.
Can I run you through some calculations just so you get the understanding where I'm coming from?
Yeah, sure.
Look, so realistically speaking, in the first year of working together, yes, it will cost you, let me quickly calculate this. It will cost you 21,000, correct?
Yeah.
Do you want me to, obviously, like, I'm not calculating ad spend due to the fact that this is something that we can also just bump up on the basis, for example, you will notice, hey, I can deal with more people. I will want to put more into the ad spend so we can actually engage with more people. Yes.
Yeah.
So only if we calculate, you know, the build-up fee and then the monthly cost for the first period of 12 months, realistically speaking, your investment is going to be at roughly 21,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, as stupid as it sounds, but then how many houses would you actually need to have sold for everyone to know your name? Due to the fact that you said you're currently dealing with 5 to 10 leads, which of them you're able to close 1 to 2. Your closing rate is at 50 to 20%. Then your average listing price is, I'm always going from the lowest numbers because I want to be realistic with you, because I think we both agree in the worst case, if you know the numbers are going to be a little bit higher, you will not mind just getting more provision, correct?
Yeah.
So we're going to focus ourselves on the listing of 5 million. For every listing like this you have sold, you get 2% provision, which is roughly 100,000. So on the basis that we will be able to bring you at least 1 close, you have already made your ROI, correct?
Yeah.
Because, you know, 21,000 times 3 will be at 36,000. Sorry, 63,000.
Okay. Yeah.
And let me be completely honest with you. as you have noticed, I've been completely honest with you the whole call. I will kill myself if I will only be able to bring you one close in a period of 12 months, because that's not realistic. I will aim for 5 to 10, especially with the kind of listings that you're dealing with. Obviously, there is space for more, but based on the current calculations.
Okay.
Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
Do you now understand, Muzni, why a ROI breakdown should not have disappeared from your presentation?
Yeah, I normally do it before I do the pricing, but I don't use the slide. I just work it through with them.
You can do it after or before. It really depends if you want to deal with the silence and if you are good with the silence. But then it doesn't really matter due to the fact that if you're gonna say it here, they already technically speaking know the pricing.
Yeah. Okay.
So by the same logic, you can just put it after. So you can just slap them with the pricing and then break it down for them.
Okay, that makes sense. What do you mean by the how many houses do you need sold for everyone to know your name?
Because with branding, you're like, that's why you don't make any guarantees. And that's why you can also stand out in comparison to, for example, other agencies that are doing some guarantees, as in, for example, you even mentioned as the prospect, where someone offered him, oh, if you pay us this, we're going to deliver this on the basis that we don't, we just work for free for such a long time till we deliver, which is a stupid guarantee.
Mm.
And with branding, your focus is not to only make him money, it is for you to help him with the personal branding, that then everything is going to be funneled onto, that is going to allow him not only to obviously get more deals, but also to simply make him more recognizable for what is it that he's doing in his area. Like we have not asked, but let's say you're in Manhattan and you're dealing only with luxurious properties. So you're going to be known as the Muzni, that people will even point fingers at in the grocery store, that if they want to buy or sell a luxurious property, you're the first one that they think of. Yeah, on the side of Mansour, this should say houses. And this is not a question, like you ask this question, but you also give him the answer. Like, don't expect your prospect to give you the answer for it, because then the question doesn't make sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
Have I copied the two things to you? Yeah.
The question is
Any more
like
questions?
the question of how many houses is more like a hook to catch the attention of your prospect.
That as well, because by the end of the day, independent what is it that you're doing, if you're a prospect, you think about money and you think about how many deals can you close with what is it that this person is doing with you. And with that, they will also understand how easily or how quickly they can actually get the ROI. Because you are not putting it in a period of 1 or 2 months, you're spreading this over a period of 12 months. Where their vision is not more, like not short-sighted anymore, it's spread over a 12 months period.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Then I would say, Muzni and Marcus, motherfucker is eating. Please do the role play. I don't care which one is the prospect, which one is selling.
Yeah. Marcus, do you want to be the prospect or do you want to be the one selling?
I can be the
Don't mind.
prospect.
Okay, sure. Let me share my screen. So just do the end bit basically. Need to... Yeah.
On the side note, before we start,
These
has
visuals.
everyone seen the new link? So from now on, when you book these meetings, just please use the new link. If I'm not mistaken, everyone should have it in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, let me just get some information first. So, Marcus, on average, how many leads are you seeing per month?
Like 3.
3 per month. And what's your average close rate with those?
Um, 2.
2%. You close 2 out of 3.
Like from normally 2 close in a month.
Okay, 2 close in a month. What's the average listing price you work with?
250.
And what would be your take home with that?
4.5.
0.5, so let's round down to 4. Let's say, so you're averaging about 7,500, about 7,500 take home per deal. You're getting about 2 deals a month, so it's about 15,000 a month. Is that right?
Yeah.
But
Look, wait.
wait, Marcus, have you said 250,000?
250. 250.
Yeah, 250,000.
Yeah.
And you said 4% closing
4%.
rate. Sorry, 4% take home.
Yeah.
I mean, round up, it was 4.5, but he rounded up to 4.
Mm-hmm.
Round it down to 4,
That's
yeah.
10,000. His take home is 10,000.
Closing how many deals a month? 2.
2.
Yeah, so he's making 20
2.
Gs.
20 Gs. 4%. It's about, yeah, 20 Gs a month. Okay, yeah, never mind. All right, you're making about
That's it.
20,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you fucked up your calculations. I don't know how you said with 2
I
deals
thought it
closing,
was
he makes 7.5.
No, I said one deal was 7.5. I thought, yeah, I fucked up. I normally would have wrote that down, but I was just doing that in my head. But yeah, that'd be about 20
Even
Gs.
when you round it up, that's the wrong way to round up.
No, I didn't
Okay.
round up. I rounded down. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
but still,
Let's just say,
please
okay, 2
have
deals.
the numbers correct.
Yeah. Okay. So do you have any questions about the presentation so far or anything about the process?
Do I have to pay up front? How does it work?
Yeah, I'm going to go through the pricing now, but in terms of the actual process, do you have any questions about how that works?
What's the guarantee you offer me?
We
Like in
don't
terms
actually We don't give guarantees because the people who do give guarantees are solely focused on actually closing in the moment. We don't give guarantees because obviously you might not be able to close some deals, you might be able to close some. We don't know the people we work with. The people who do give you guarantees up front and say that to your face are just saying it to close you and realistically. If that makes sense.
okay, for how many time I have to be engaged on that?
What do you mean by engaged?
If I decide to go with you, um,
Hmm.
how many months I have to be engaged on with you? Can I
Correct.
just for half year, like 6 months?
Actually, Ernest, how many do you guys use a contract or something for like a 6 month basis, or is it month to month?
It's 3 to 6 months,
3 to
realistically
6 months, okay.
speaking. But yeah, 3 to 6.
Okay, yeah, it's 3 to 6 months.
But then again, you can also deflect the question and say something like, look, by the end of the day, it really depends on how quickly you're going to be happy with your results. Because by the end of the day, we are also not mainly focused on closing the deals. Yes, we will get you more closing. But by the end of the day, it is also about making you more recognizable for what is that you're doing in Miami. So
Okay.
we are not thinking short term, we are thinking long term. And again, this is also something I'll be more than happy to explain to you more in details when we get to the ROI breakdown. But besides that, do you have any questions that will, slow down your decision?
No, it's good. You can explain the rest. The
Okay.
calculation. Yeah.
All right, so with the investment, there's a one-time fee of $2,500. Now, from there, there's just a monthly ad spend of 1,000. That's not paid to us. That's paid directly to Facebook, so we don't make anything off of that. After 3 months, there will be a $1,500 retainer. That's essentially how the pricing works. Now, we can go through an ROI breakdown just to make sure this makes sense for you mathematically. So you mentioned, based on our spend, let's say you're spending 2,500 upfront and then 1,500 for about 9 months. That would be about three, about around 1,500, or 15,000,
16.
sorry, around 15,000, 16,000.
Yeah, it's 16,000.
Okay, around
Mostly you need to
$16,000 that you're spending.
you need to stop doing calculations in your brain. They are off by a couple of
Yeah,
thousand
I
every time.
normally, yeah, I was just giving a rough estimate, but yeah, fuck it, 16,000 exactly, in the year. So how many houses do you think you need to sell for everyone to know your name? What would you, how would you answer this yourself? You wouldn't
First
answer
of
that,
all,
would
M
you?
is not a word. Second of all, you can literally ask the question as you just asked, and you can say, I'd be more than happy to answer the question for you. Because by the end of the day, you said that your average listing price is 250,000, correct? And you're closing 1 to 2 people per month. So by the end of the day, with one deal, which currently you're averaging of 2, you will make 20,000, correct?
Mhm.
So based on those calculations, in order for you to break even, we will only need to bring you 2 closes in a period of 12 months. Because as I said, the calculations are being focused on 12 months. And let me be completely honest with you, Marcus, I will generally just rip my veins open if the only thing we will be able to bring you is 2 closes in a period of 12 months. Do you believe me when I say that?
Yeah, I do.
Because then our focus will be to bring you at least 6 closes or even 8, because then one of the pillars that I mentioned to you at the beginning of the presentation would have been fulfilled.
Mhm.
Does that give you a better understanding of how our pricing and also how the ROI breakdown works?
Yeah, sure.
Does that answer your question, Muzni?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like,
Okay.
this question is for them to, first of all, break the pattern, so they're actually listening to you. But again, this is not the question. Like, you ask the question, but you're also giving the answer, because you don't want to confuse them with this question, because they are going to be focused on, but how? But if I sell houses, it doesn't really matter who knows my name. Because as an example, I don't remember who that was. I think Matus has asked that question on one of his calls. And I think on the call yesterday or 2 days ago that he has not answered this question. The guy, like, he allowed the guy to answer this question. And the prospect literally said, well, that fucking depends, doesn't it? If I sell Donald House Trump, then in this case, I'm gonna, be a very recognizable realtor. But if I sell some cheap ass house for 250,000, then no one will know my name. Nothing will change. Like, the guy got literally fucking offended by him asking this question, because the question doesn't make sense unless you explain it.
Okay.
Switch, Abo, please do it with Mansoor. I don't care which one is which one. You can guys choose or play local purpose user.
I don't actually have a presentation yet, so I can be the prospect for now. I was going to ask, could you send me a presentation, please? The template.
Can you remind me? Can you just send me a message after the call?
I'll shoot you a message. Yeah.
What the fuck? No, my vape is dripping. I just spilled whole liquid on my table. Mansoor, take yourself time. It's not like your presentations will be open in 30 seconds.
But how should
Wait,
I?
are you guys actually? Do you actually guys don't have the fucking presentation bookmarked? You should have bookmarked the public view link, because then it's immediately being opened in full screen. Hello, Mansoor. Presentation open, please, chop. You've literally sent me the link. As a matter of fact, I can open it for you. Thank you. Okay, do you know how to access public view link? Click on share in the right upper corner. Share the right upper corner. Then you go to public view link and there is a link. Just open this link in a new tab. Sorry? Mansoor? First of all, I'm not able to hear you if you're saying something.
Yeah, can you see the presentation?
Yes, but it's, why do you show it like this?
How should I show it then?
Are you guys not fucking listening to me today? What the fuck is wrong with all of you? Go on share in the right upper corner.
Yes.
No, share. What the fuck are you doing? Share. There is a white button on the right side of where you're currently at.
It's in the Canva.
Click
Yeah,
on
I'm
share
gonna-
in Canva.
I'm gonna join Nikita's call because I got another call back with him. So
No, that's fine.
I'll just message you there.
Then
Yes.
that's fine. Click on public
Yeah.
view link.
Public
It's the
viewing.
third. It's the third one. No, down. No, you down.
Here?
Down. Yes. Copy this link. Create public view link. Now copy link. Copy link. It's on the left side. Where your mouse currently is. Yes. Open this link in the new tab.
Again?
Open this link in the new tab. You can
Yeah.
click on Control T if you want to open a new tab. Yes. Enter. Yes. And now if you want to go to full screen, you just simply go on the full screen icon in the right down corner. Yes. Do you see a difference in how that look like?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Skip to the third slide from behind.
Which one? This one?
No, fuck me. 11, number 11. Okay, one more. One fucking more. Okay, why? Okay, fine. Here is fine. Here you can start. By the way, you fucked up where it says video listing because it literally has a watermark of the brokerage you took the screenshot from. The same with home sold.
Hmm.
You had one homework, you fucked up. F. Good. I don't know what notes you're getting in UE. I assume it's not F, but F. Please start.
How should I start? Starting with the
Am I the only person that's present today or something? Do you have any information about Abu as a realtor right now? in order to show him the pricing or in order to show him the ROI? No. So please ask Abu, how many leads is he engaging with? What is his closing rate?
Yeah. So how many deals do you get a month? Could you tell me more about that?
How many deals, sorry?
Yeah, you get a month. Like
Uh,
how many leads in general?
yeah, I get 5 to 7 leads on average a month.
Yeah. And the closing rate, how is it?
Yeah, I close 2 or 3 out of those.
2 or 3, yeah. And how much do you get per close?
3%.
Why do you ask that? Just what is your average take home? Because this is the words that they use in real estate.
Average take home?
Yes.
Yeah, I get about 2 to 3%.
2 to 3%. And the price for the unit or something.
Average fucking listing price is
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you're looking for.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
average listing price is about 1 million.
Oh, yeah.
So how much is he making?
2%. 20?
Oi. This is something you should be able to calculate immediately.
Yeah, you know.
This is it. So how much is it?
20,000. It's 2%, right?
Yes, you want to go from the lowest one, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's fine.
So 2,000 per deal, right?
Did you see 2,000?
No, 20 grand per deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
20, 30K, yeah.
So you take home 40 grand a month. Is that correct?
Around that. At the low end, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, on the bit, like when he says low end, it's probably because of his ego. So in this case, what you should do is instead of just saying yeah, because you're reacting like you have never heard that amount of money in your life, just say yeah, absolutely. The only reason why I say 40 because I prefer to go with the lowest numbers because in the worst case, if all the calculations we're gonna do are gonna be based on the lowest numbers and your numbers are gonna increase, statically speaking, the take home is also gonna increase, which I assume you will not have a problem with. Am I correct to say that?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Bye, Marcos.
So what should I do next?
Fuck me. First of all the information that you have now just gathered is something you will normally gather in the discovery part of the call. The only reason why you have done it here because we wanted to train the pitching. So now what you want to do is ask him if he has any questions about the process or anything about the presentation that he has seen so far.
Do you have any question regarding the presentation and the colors?
No, nothing I can think of at the moment.
Then what you want to do is ask him, okay, on the basis that we're also going to be able to figure out the pricing that works for both sides. Is there anything that will stop you from moving forward today?
Well, based on that, is there anything that will hinder you from moving forward with us today?
Yeah, I just don't have the money on me right now. So I need to think about it a bit more.
So in this case, that's an objection you need to handle because he literally just told you it's not about money, it's that he needs to think about. Because by the end of the day, even if, for example, his finances are short today, deposit is the way. But he just told you that he needs to think about it more. So you can just simply ask, okay, Abu, what do you need to think about? Because by the end of the day, you know, I'm the only source of information you have. So just before we move forward, well, what other questions do you have? What is that you generally need to think about?
So could you be more specific about the specific aspects that you need to think about?
Don't say
Yeah,
specific twice in a sentence.
Hmm?
Don't say specific twice in the same sentence.
Yeah.
yeah, I kind of just want to know how many people you've been working with and how long you've been doing this.
Well, that's a difficult question. How should I like say?
Without any hesitation. Oh, we work with a bunch of different realtors. We've been doing this for a couple of years now.
But if I didn't, like, I'm not really working with any.
Yes, but you're working with me and I've been doing this for multiple years and I'm a part of your team. So you're not lying, you're telling half truth.
Mhm.
And I worked with fucking thousands of people.
Well, yeah, we've been doing this for many years, and we've been working specifically with a lot of agents. So is there anything else that you need to be clarified?
And I guess that's okay. You can carry on.
Yeah. So is there any other thing that you didn't understand yet, or that will
No.
hinder you from moving forward?
No, I think that's okay for now.
Mm. So going for the pricing or something?
Yeah. What are you doing? Where are you going with this?
Yeah. So there's this is our pricing. First, you're going to pay us $7,000 bill fee.
Wrong. In what fucking country can you literally look an Abu and say, so the first thing you do is pay us 7,000? Jenny, the way you just said it sounded like you're just hungry for his money.
Then how should I say it?
Oh, the pricing plan is super easy. It's going to be an initial investment of 7,000. Then it's going to be 1,000 ad spend, which doesn't even go to us. We don't take that money. It goes to Meta, which is going to cost you roughly $33 per day. And after 3 months, we're just going to switch it to a retainer of 1.5. Do you have any questions in terms of this? Because if not, then I will also be more than happy to show you ROI breakdown, because as I mentioned at the beginning of the call, one of the pillars that we are working on, or we are basing ourselves on, is the ROI that we bring you.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Then you go to ROI breakdown, which is the next slide.
So you make on average like $40,000. Is that correct?
Low end,
Yeah.
$40,000.
Yeah, I see. So what's next?
Were you fucking listening for the past 40 minutes or something?
It's the first time, to be honest. Like, it's really the first time.
Abu, okay, that's absolutely fine. Is it fine if I just walk you through the calculations that I'm gonna make now?
Yeah, go ahead.
So look, we're just gonna focus ourselves on a period of 1 year, because on the basis that, you know, you're gonna be happy with the first few months, then we obviously just gonna keep it for a year. But Mansur, click on the fucking X in the right upper corner.
Where?
When you go to full screen and you reach the end of the presentation, the screen goes black because it says thank you for using Canva.
Yeah.
Yes, there. So look, Abu, realistically speaking, you know, the build-up fee is 7,000, then the retainer after 3 months is 1.5. I'm not calculating ad spend because on the basis that you're not going to reach your max capacity, we can also pump it up. Or for example, if you say, hey, you want to deal with more leads, let's just pump the ad spend, absolutely fine. But then realistically speaking, 7,000 plus 9 times 1.5 is going to be 16,000. So let me ask you one question. How many houses would you actually need to have sold for everyone to know your name? Because what I mean by this is, if the initial payment or the initial investment you're going to make with us is going to be at 16,000, realistically speaking, in order to break even, you will need to have sold, your average amount of closings, which will be 2 per month. But then, sorry, 1 per month, 1 per month. You said 20,000.
Yeah.
But then on the basis that, as I told you, one of the pillars that we are working on is 3x when it comes to ROI. Realistically speaking, we will need to bring you 4 closes, and then you're going to be already in 3x. And then, let me be completely honest with you. I think I will just generally quit my job if in a period of 12 months, we will only bring you 3 closes. Because based on what you have seen so far, do you generally think it would be realistic for you to close more deals?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you also see that, taking into consideration, we're going to funnel every single ad campaign that we are going to run towards your Instagram, and on the basis that we're going to utilize everything we showed you so far, people are also going to trust you more, which, if we want it or not, it's just simply going to increase your closing rate. And by the end of the day, you have been in this space for 3 years. So I will assume you have also a big database that will not mind following you on Instagram, which by the end of the day means if we're going to push out the content that we have showed you, they will also come back to you. Correct?
That's true, yeah.
So do you now see where I'm coming from with the ROI breakdown? Do you also see how easy it is to achieve for us the 3x on ROI? Okay. Do you have any more questions? Is there anything else holding us off to simply start?
No, that sounds good to me, yeah.
Would you prefer to pay with Apple Pay, bank transfer?
I'll go with Apple Pay. Kaboom.
And then you just send them a link. In some cases, they will also want to go over the contract, but then you just simply open the contract and just walk them through it. Just read it for them, because in case they're going to have any questions, you can just answer.
All right.
Okay, guys, I need to go to another meeting.
Thank you. I'll message you later. I'm going to also ask for the recording, if that's okay.
Yeah, me
that's
too.
fine.
I need to see the recordings. I
That's
couldn't find
absolutely fine. Yes, because I'm updating everything on the back end because I wanted to look sexy when you guys look for the recordings.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right,
Okay,
thank you very much.
Then I'll see you later. Bye-bye.